Hello friends, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use your sign up form and login form to sign up and login using Codeigniter. So let's move. Here we have our app folder. So in the previous video I have just covered how to create forms using Bootstrap. So first we will work on sign up form. See, the validation is working, and if you use email here, any dummy email will work, and password, nothing is happening. So move over to your controllers. In the account controller, move over to handle sign up. So this is where we are currently. That's it. S- so here we need to save our email and password into the users table. So if you look at the users table, what we have: id, email, password, created at, updated at. Id will be auto incremented and auto generated. Email will be provided by the user, which is also unique, and password will also be generated by the or supplied by the user. Created and updated ad will be supplied at, or you can say that in the model we will use it as a timestamp. So here we move over to your models. Create a model. Sorry, create a folder first if you want, so that you can properly organize your models. For example, this is account accounts, or you can say account. Use, name something which is useful to you, like account model, or model, model, or you can use it like this. It's upon you, doesn't matter. I'm using like this format. So you must first have to extend ci model, and also you must call the parent controller first, so that you can access the methods or functions of ci model. In php we do like this. So that's it. Create a function name, do sign up. That means, or wait for, I need to comment this: email first and password. So it will be email supplied by the user, and it will be password supplied by the user. So move over to your Codeigniter documentation and search for model class. It will be, if you don't know where it is, just move over to your model controller view, Codeigniter overview. In this section you will get to know something about models. I am somewhere lost in the documentation, so I need to search for model. It is very good documentation of this Codeigniter. So here we have the models. What is model? So here we have the skeleton. So we need to insert the entry or insert the data, so we can use this format: do insert table name and that particular content, in this case email and password. So we can use this query. How we can use this db insert? We are inserting into users table. Check out this name by here, users table. So what will be inside that table? We can insert array into that. So we can use the short form of php array. Email will be like this, email, call the email, and password will be, you can hash that particular password. In this case, open your php documentation. If you don't know, there are very good hashing library included in php, that's called hash password. Okay, let's see where we lost. It is called password hash, not hash password. So just be aware of the documentation. It's so huge that you cannot remember each and everything. You must refer to the documentation for verification. So it is called password hash. It will use the default algorithm for hashing the password. See, it is available in php version greater than 5.5. So if you are below 5.5, you will not be able to use this function. So be aware of that. Password hash your password. I think there is something wrong here. Just wait. I need to check where things. Okay. So the constant is missing, that is called password default. The second parameter of this function is of password hash function is, first one is the password you want to hash, and the second one is the algorithm you want to supply. If you don't know which algorithm you want to supply, you you can use the constant known as password underscore default, which we use the by default or the strongest possible algorithm. In this case, bcrypt. Currently bcrypt is the strongest possible hashing pass technique used to hash the password. If you are not aware, the recent one is included in the php is called the argon. If you are more if you want to know more about the argon, you can check out the php.net website for that. The third variable we want to pass into the table is created at. It is just the format we want to supply, like we have use year, month, date, or hour, minutes, and second. This is the format we can use. At the end, we can use updated updated at. So here we have our complete. You can just return true, so that if the query is successful, it will return true. So here we have our first database query. Before using this model, let me just check out if there is something in data in this table. The table is empty. So now we are sure that nothing is inside table. First you need to include this model, where you can use the config folder in which there are auto load. You can auto load the model. It will be in the last line somewhere. So I have first model, I have account model. It will be inside account. So this autoload model will generally call somewhere between here models. So if you have something in between folder, you must have to call that folder first. So in the account controller, you can do this like call this account model and call that particular function, that is do sign sign up, and supply those parameters. You need to generally use this email, this input post, and the name of that is email, and second one is password. Email, password. So before we can sign up, just need to just check out if they are working or not. So I think they are not working, or they may be working. Just see email, password. Let's see, they're working. So we're on the right track. Or just do nothing. Okay, let's run this. Supply the password and supply the confirm password. Okay, now it is saying undefined property db. That means sorry, that means the database library is not auto loaded. The model is auto loaded, but in the model itself we are using the db instance. In the line number 26, you can see the db is not available. So where things are wrong, you can see in the auto load we have to include library called database. Maybe let's see here in the line number 54 we have auto load. In the prototype or example, you can see in the 54 we have database library, email and session. So we need to include database library as well for this to work. Just refresh. Okay. Ho- Head over to your users table and refresh the table and see what we have. We have email password which is hashed by bcrypt, which is the strongest available until the argon came. In the created and updated we have empty. That means our date is not working. So the date is not working. You need to do something for that. You can use the Carmen library available for PHP, or let's see something will work. See, there are things which need to be supplied before using date. This is called date default time zone set, which is required for date to be worked. Let's see if this will work for us in this case. I am supplying date as UTC. So let's see if this will work or not. Let's enter. Okay, head over to users and refresh. It is not working. So that means we need to use something else. So we can use this example or similar one, like let's again see if this is working or not. Move over to your users table and it's working. So you can use this method or any valid method. There are many methods for date to be work for you. It is working in this case. So okay, your sign up is done. Now whenever a user sign up, we can either use session to by default log in the user, or you can just ask him to log in again in this case. So I am just make him log in automatically. So head over to your Codeigniter and search for session, the session library. Initialize the session. Here we have in the documentation, it is very pretty well. Use this session and load the library. In the auto load section in the libraries, just include the session and we have the session library. So I am using adding this in the adding section. See how it is. You can use uh, any data to include into the session. We need to create an array and we will supply the key value, key value, key value, and use this set underscore user data and supply that array, and it will set the user session. So we'll use the same syntax to log in the user. So in the I will only use the email part, and it will be email and redirect the user to home, and I am having the home controller already, and it will be here, home controller index function. So you don't need to include index, but I am supplying. Move over to your sign up form again and supply anything, it will work. Supply the password and see, I am redirected back to home. So but here the login and sign up buttons are visible because I am what we are going to do is the user is sign upping, and it is if sign up is correct, the user is redirected to the home controller of in the index function or index method. So here I am presuming that the user sign up is complete, and now he can do anything inside the app, but we need to remove these two based on the session data. So how do we can check out the session is available or not? Because we have already included the session library, so we can check out the session data by using the functions available here. So let me see what are the functions that help me to check whether session data is available or not. Accessing the session metadata. Okay, let us see. Here we have retrieving session data. Head over to retrieving session data. Here we have. Okay. Now I am heading over to views, under views, accounts, or move over to header first because it is important. In include, move over to your header, and in the login and sign up, I don't know why it is here. What is this data? In the home, you can remove this data and use this, or you can just echo this to know what is inside this. Let me echo first this to know what is. Okay, see, inside this we have our email which is saved in the session. So let me do something. Okay, nothing here. I want to know if there is why I am doing this. I want to cross check what is the returning value of this. If nothing is found inside, it is returning null, not the true or false, the boolean value. It is not returning the boolean value, it is returning the null. So I have to code like according to the null value. So remove this, and inside this you have to uncomment this, and if is set, don't use is set, use if this is not equal to null. Okay, because if this is not equal to null, we have to show email, otherwise we have to show login or sign up form. So in the show email, use this variable and pass it here. See how things are working right now. Also we need to add logout button. Currently we do not have any logout controller or logout method. We need to create that one. In the logout you need to just supply the, see we don't have, just in the accounts controller, create a method called logout and just destroy the session. That's it. Head over to destroying session, removing session data, or destroying a session. You can remove a session destroy by just calling session destroy and redirect the user to account login. That's it. So refresh this. Our data is currently what we have achieved right now. We have just signed up the user and redirected it to the home page and created the login sorry, logout function or method in which we destroy the session, but we currently do not have implemented the login functionality. In this case, if I click the login, it will not work. So we need to create the login functionality. For that, what we have to do, just move over to your views under account, open the login form. So here I am having the login form. Use the inbuilt form helper because it helps you to include so many things. For example, you can use csrf token, which if you try to manually include, you will be getting tough time. So use this form, open, use your action in this case is account handle login, and supply the required parameter, in this case class form horizontal. What the hell is this? Form horizontal. Okay, remove this and remove this also. Form close, use this. So here we have our inspect the element to see if the token is included or not. The csrf token is included, so it is somewhat safe. Click on the sign up, it will redirect or move you to towards the handle login. So we need to code the handle login also. Just add the value or name that will be passed to that handle login function. Email, and in this case password. Also one more thing, if for example I am writing some rubbish email and some password, when I press enter or when I press sign in, if there is something error in the form, the error will be shown like in the sign up form. But in this case, you need to enter the previous email again. To save you from typing again, you can use the form helpers method known as set value. This is the form helpers method you can use to save yourself from typing again or your users from typing again. Don't use it in the password field because password is not visible, so it will be of no use at all. So move over to your login under we need to create a login handle form. We have sign up and sign up is complete. We need to move over here, create here, because it will be good if you stack things in proper orders. Public function handle login. So use the same template if you want, like this, copying the whole thing and just remove which is not required. So here we have remove the password confirmation first, and move over to account login and don't do this, uncomment this and uncomment this also for the time being. So, and one more thing, use the validation error and put this in your login form here above. So now we are somewhat complete. So here we have the email field is required and the password field is required. Let me change the email and let me change the password. Let's see if the email is reflected back or not. So there is something wrong. No, it is actually not wrong because it is moving towards the else part of the if else. So let me enter the email but not to enter the password. That will be quite good. See, the validation is working right and the email is reflected back and we don't need to type it again. Move over to your account or you can do one more thing. Move over to your models. In the account models, create a new method called do login and supply that same email and wait for a minute. Let me check something is wrong or not. How do you generally log in? You supply the email and password and you check out with your database if it is found or not. If it is found, it will create a session. If it is not found, it will supply the required message to the user that your email or password is wrong or something. So we need to open the documentation, open the model or and see whether we have something as selecting data. There is something called query builder in Codeigniter, which will help you to use the shortcut for database. Like see, we have selecting data. You don't need to create a model, just use this and everything will work for you. Let me show you how. Close this and close this or uncomment this for the time being. In the account section, in this case, just var dump this. In the my tables section, use users. Just refresh and press enter. There is something wrong. What is wrong? Something wrong. What the hell is going on? I don't know. Let me see. Again, it's saying that okay. I think the query is wrong or let me see. I think the query is wrong. or sorry. So we will move back to our previous method, which is inside this model, because the other method is not working. So how do we do? Just we will call our method do login and supply the email and password, and move over to your documentation, and also move over to your model class model, and we will use select. We need to actually use the where clause, get where, or yes, we have the get where. What is get where? It will help you to select things based on where query, like where id equal to, where things equal to, like this. So here we have the query. In the my table user type users, in the array section, email, email. The data will be supplied in the result array. If you need to check out what is inside, you can see we have here we have the inside result or result array. Let me see if result or result array will work. Just print out this. We are not using the or use the result only. See, it is working. So just print out this to see if there is something wrong. So how do we check? We need to just let me turn off the gzip, because it is creating some problem. So here we have, okay, now it will work. Okay, so it is not returning any result. Why? Because the email supplied is actually not available. Let me see, where are those emails? abc@gmail. Okay, let me supply this one first. So here we have the data return. See, it is having email and password and everything which is required or not required. It is just returning everything. So result array having all the data. So how, see, we are having the all data, but it's actually not matching towards whether the person is the actual owner of that email or not. We are just matching the email, but password is not matched because we the user will be supplying the password in the alphanumeric keyword like 123, and the in the database we have the hashed password. So how do we match that particular thing? For that we have, open your php documentation and password hash. This is we already used, and for verifying whether the hash password is the same password supplied by the user, you can use the password verify. So how it will work, you have to supply the password the user is supplying in as the first parameter, and the hashed which is available in your database already, you use that particular in the second field. So you just supply both of these password and hashed password, and password verify will check out whether these two things are true or not. If these two things are true, that means the user is the original user, and if they are not true, that means the user is not the original user or don't know the password. So here we have, we can do password or password verify thing in the controller itself or in the model. So I want to do in the model itself. So how I will do, if password password verify the password and the hash. Let me see how things are organized in the array. First, var dump again, because okay 0. So okay, okay, okay. So I need to supply the 0. I need to supply the password. Here we have, so password. Here we have, so name it hash so that you can differentiate between the password supplied by the user and the hashed password. So we have password and hash. If password verify is true, that means the user knows the password, actual password. Return true, else return false. That's it. So how things work, if this is true, set the session data similar to this, else move the user to, we will just set the flash data here, because I will tell you in a moment that what flash data is. So first thing, email, we have the email and set the user data. So let's see. Okay, now see, our login is working all right. We have xyz, and if I press sign in, okay, there is something fishy here. ABC, let me use abc 1 2 3 4 5 6. I don't know whether the password is right or wrong. So xy, don't know the password. Actually I forgot all the password which I was using. So again 123 at the rate gmail.com. 1234567 1234567. Press enter. Okay, now log out. 123 at the rate gmail.com. 1234567. Press enter and it's working. So our login module is also somewhat completed. Just log out and press the wrong or press the just rubbish or gibberish thing, and it is saying there is something wrong in the account model line number 48. We're having some problem. 48. Okay. Why it is saying? Because when you supply something or email which is not available, you can use the count query, which will count if the array is empty or not. If the array is greater than, count is greater than 0, that means data is inside or there is something inside, and else there is nothing inside. Return the false. So that's it. Okay, there is something wrong. I have included the extra parenthesis. That's it. It is working. Password field is required. If the account is not available, it is not generating any error message. So for that we need to look for flash data. Flash data. What is flash data? When we need to supply some message in the next page, for example, if you click some button and you need to supply some message that the button is, you click the wrong button or something like this, that is for the next request for any other. So in particularly in case of like you just sign up the form and you need to set the message for the user that the sign up is successful or the login is successful, so it will just generate the message for the next request whatever it is. That's it. So here we have the set flash data method in the sessions library. I already included the session library. So head over to, here we have the flash data. So how we set the flash data? Here we have the flash data. So if it is true, here move over to your account controller. Here we have the login error. I am naming this as login error. So what will be inside that message? Email or password is wrong. Okay, so how do I get this data? I have just set the flash data. You need to, or you access this flash data by using, let me see, there is a method called user data. See what is saying? The user data method will not return the flash data items. So it is a very good point. However, if you want to show that you are reading flash data, not you can run for flash data items. So it is here. So what it is happening when we are supplying the wrong email or password, not the empty one, it will say email or password is wrong, and I'm using that flash data session or flash data key value pair to tell the user whether you are having this or not. So use here, move this. Most probably it is null. In previously we have seen, let me check first what is the value of this when it is not available, because we need to have correct cross checking between this. See, it is applying the null, so we need to use is not equal to null. When it is not equal to null, what we will do, we will just print out the message, and it is having the key name is login error. Use that, and use that also inside this. That's so when I supply the gibberish, it is saying email or password is not wrong. That's it. It's working. So when I supply the right one, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, it will log in to you inside this. So login and sign up is working properly. There are something that I may have forgot. For example, if you are watching it seriously, or your attention is quite good, if I supply the same email, for example 123 at the rate gmail, I have already signed up here. What the form will do, I'm supplying the same email which is already registered. Press enter and see what it is saying. A database error occurred, duplicate entry. That means the email, because when I created the users table, use the email as a unique key. That means you cannot supply the same email for two users. Every user must have the unique email. So 123 at gmail is already occupied by some user, so I am just again using that email to register some other user. That will not going to happen. We currently we don't handling this case. So how we can handle this case? Head over to your documentation of Codeigniter and open the form validation library. Form validation, the spelling is, I'm having problem in typing. Form validation, again here we have the form validation. Okay, there is something called callbacks in form validation, which is quite useful when you do things like this. So how do we use the callbacks? Move over to your account model in the login, or sorry, not in the login, in the sign up, or most probably, or if I want to specify it, it is handle sign up. So what you have to do, in the email we are not checking whether the email is already used by someone else or not. In the email, callback, rename it as email callback check. So what it will do, the name is actually a function, so we need to create a private function renamed as callback email check. What it will do, it will check whether the email is available or not. So rename it as private. If you know some object oriented programming, you know what private public means. So how it will work, let's see. Username check, actually you name to, you rename this function to email check. You don't need to supply that callback keyword in the function. So supply the email here, and just return, use this template. The templates are quite useful when you are coding, because you don't need to code anything from the scratch. Just use what things are available to you. just see whether, let me see. I'm just checking whether it is working or not. Okay, move over to this. It is saying in an uncaught exception was occurred. Call to private method account email check from contact CI form validation. That means private method. It is private method. So we need to make it public. I don't know why it is saying, but it is just saying we need to follow the frameworks rules. So it is working. The email field cannot be word what the message I have supplied. So we don't do these things. We just have to check whether the email exists in database or not. So what do we have to do? We have to move over to our account model and check whether the email exists or not. Public function check email. Supply the email and use this same where clause and see whether if result is greater than 0, that means if return the true that email exists, else return false. So call that function or mostly we can say model account model check email. So supply the email here, and if it is true, do like this. If it is not true, supply this. Do like this. The email is already occupied. That's it. Press enter. Okay, there is something wrong. I need to. So we have seen that our callback method is not working properly. The reason is this, that whenever result array having data, we are saying that check email is true. That means the email is exist in the users table. But here in the method, if the email exists equal to true, that means the email exists. We don't need to supply this. We are saying that email is already occupied. So let's see whether it will work or not. Previously what I am doing, I am supplying here false. That means if email is not available in the database, we are saying the email is occupied. That is the wrong logic. So you don't need to supply false value. Just say if email is available, the model is returning true, and we are saying that email is already occupied. Let's see if it is working or not. So see it now. We have our filter is working, which is saying the 123 at the gmail is already occupied. Just try for another email which is already available in the database, that is xyz@gmail.com. So xyz, press enter, and it is saying xyz is already occupied, the password field is required, the password confirmation field is required. So our login module is almost complete. So we have login, sign up. So 1 2 3, just for cross checking whether everything is right or not. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Okay, use 4. So here we have sign up successful. We need to brush up this thing by just supplying the new sign up user with the message that sign up successful. It will be quite good. So in the account section, under, let's move this up here, handle sign up, use the flash data. It will be quite good if you use the flash data here. As we have used in this handle login. So in the handle sign up, use the flash data as sorry, like this, sign up success. Welcome. You can use double quotes to specify any variable inside this. Welcome email xyz@gmail.com. Your sign up is complete. So here we have, in the open the login and use this inside your sign up to show. And here we have, let's use the answer, sorry, gn up sign up success. And in the danger, use the bootstraps class alert success. So here we have, so it is complete now. In the sign up, enter any rubbish email if you want. Okay, just 2345 sorry, gmail.com, 12345 12345. Just press enter and see. Okay, what's wrong here? It is, I have used it in the wrong place. We need to move it to home. Why home? Because we are redirecting our user to home. So this is the wrong thing. 123456 at the gmail.com, 12345. Okay, sorry, we need to move to sign up page. 23456 at the gmail.com, 123456 and 123456. Press enter and see. Welcome, your sign up is complete. So this is how we can use Bootstrap, Codeigniter, MySQL combinedly to create our sign up and login form. See, there are some complications in this. If you know some depth of Codeigniter, you can use it properly to create a better forms for you. In this case, I have used Bootstrap, Codeigniter, and using both of the combination of both of them, I have created a form with login functionality, with filtering such as checking the email, and there are just some things that you, if you do in core PHP, you will have to struggle for that. So I was also struggling for that, but that is to show you how you can choose the right path towards your goal. See, there are two three way of doing something, or anything in programming. Choose the path which is more most comfortable or most accurate to you, but understand the things that you are doing. So thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe and share the video. And in the next video I will show you how you can create your own url shortener completely. Currently we have just covered the milestones of sign up to the sign up and login, but the main part is how you can shorten your url and supply the shorten url and redirect it to your original url, or just like these things. So thanks.